Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to focus on getting weeds up, cutting some things back, and if we get an opportunity, plant some of the things that we have gotten today. So let's go, let's get started. Alright guys, in my last video I went through and cut down a lot of things that we had, and today I'm going to continue cutting down more things, and if I can, start pulling a lot of these weeds that's been growing. These things here are everywhere and annoying. This is our haul that we got today. Hoping to get some of these planted today, but if not, they'll have to sit here until next weekend. But the main focus is also these 2 plum trees that are gonna go out in our yard. In my previous video, I talked about getting some shrubs that were shade loving, because this is what I'm talking about. We have a house right behind us, and these trees back here, if you can see at the bottom, there's nothing to provide privacy. So the thought behind it is, hey, let's get a lot of shrubs that love the shade that we can kind of plant along here in front of these that don't get too big or too wide, because you can see these branches kind of extend a lot, but just enough to fill in this back area here, because this is a little road that comes out here in the back of our house, and that way it'll provide more privacy. When these grow in, there's a lot more privacy, but not as much as we would like. And last year we planted these that we hope would grow and fill in as well. So we're gonna have to wait and see how all of this turns around. But for now, let's go ahead and get to cutting down some more things, like our hydrangea here. It's starting to bud. So I really have to get focused here. Like I said, weeding as well. This is horrible. But we have a lot to do, a lot to cover this season, our first full season of tackling our backyard and trying to make it into our oasis. Some of the things we planted last year are starting to grow back. The hyacinths, especially. So, let's not forget our steps. Eventually have to fix those too. So much that needs to get done. So come along with me and let's do this. Here I am cutting down our hydrangeas in our hydrangea bed. I am trying to give them a really hard cut. I believe they grow on old wood. I'm not sure. I'm trying to research. And then I am also getting down and getting all the weeds out as low as I can, actually, because there's some that grow really deep in the beds. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Oh, I got something on me. Didn't expect this to happen. Okay, a mess. Didn't expect this, but all right. So that yucky stuff that got on me was not the hydrangea, my mistake. It was the weed I was pulling out. I don't even know what kind of weed that is. All I know is it's very sticky and all over my sweatshirt, and it was getting hot anyway. So I took my sweatshirt off. So let's continue. Now here I am just cleaning up everything that I cut down. And I had to go back and get my nailing pad because the ground can be so brutal to your knees. And so I have to make sure I'm always using that so I don't hurt my knees. Then I'm going to move over to our pavilion area, and I'm going to start working on our peonies because there's so much dead leaves and foliage from last year. And Sam is coming over to kind of give me tips on what I can do, and I'm just pulling it out, and then I'm going over to the other side to tackle the other peony. We have really 2 beautiful red peonies that come up flanking the pavilion side, and when they come up, oh my gosh, they are so beautiful. So I want to make sure I do a really good job cleaning that area up and moving around the pavilion all around to get into the different areas. And now I'm going to work on our bed, I guess it's a lower raised bed where we put our annuals. Last year we had some annuals that did not work out. I think they needed more water than we were able to give them. And now we are cleaning up. It's been a long day. I think we were out here about 4.5, 5 hours. And yeah, that's what we have, just cleaning up. My son came home and just talking to him a little bit. And of course, he's telling us what he likes, what he doesn't like. And we're just trying to figure out where we're going to plant the rest of our shade plants, which I don't think we'll get to today, but that's okay. Overall, I think today was a really productive day. Let's see how it turned out. Okay, it's 4:27 and we are wrapping up. Today, I feel like we accomplished a lot. We planted a lot of ground coverage along this border because eventually we will be putting like a black border. I think that's going to be 4 inches tall. I'm not sure. My husband already ordered it, but you'll see us tackling that too. And then we added a lot of perennials that come up during the spring or early spring. And then hopefully everything later on will come in and it'll blend and look full and beautiful. We'll see. I didn't get an opportunity to really pick up all of these weeds. They're everywhere. But I tried to get as much as I can. I'm going to look online for some kind of tutorial on how to make a homemade weed repellent that I can spray on them so they can die. And then I'll come through and pull them because they're all in the cracks of our paveway and everything. So that's on my to-do list. Around our Japanese tree, we went ahead and planted some more perennials. I'm interested to see how that's going to turn out. Not sure, but I thought it'd be nice to put a nice pop of color around there. So those should be yellow. We'll watch those come up. Some of the things we planted last year started coming up already, which is over here. Some tulips. And we continued putting tulips on this side as well. You can hear our blower. Hubby's going around now trying to blow all the leaves out the way. More ground coverage. The goal is to have as much ground coverage as possible to be around our plants because we have a very bad problem with weeds, in particular these kind. So I'll put a clip and a little picture of what we had earlier, but this is all we're left with. And our next project, or one of the projects coming up, is that we will be planting these 4 to the front of our driveway because there's 4 hostas that we want to remove that they look beautiful when they first come up, but because they're in full sun, they get really ugly and dark brown and start to be just an eyesore. And that's our front, driveway coming up. So we're going to remove those and replace them with these, which are, don't remember the names. What are these? They're dwarf arborvitaes. So, and then we have these creeping jennies, I think. Yes, creeping jennies that we are going to put in a pot that we have near our front door and have a centerpiece. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but that's the plan. And on this side here, you can see we planted more. These were from last year over here. And then off here is these 2 we just planted. And over here. And then we went ahead and dug up the daylilies we had that were here and here. So ugly. And we hope these azaleas, yep, they're like a pink and white color. Hopefully those come up and look really good. And these are ground coverage we had from last year. See how much they spread? We added 2 more here, the same color, the blue. What are these ground coverage called again that are here? The blue ones? gotta start remembering these names. Phlox? No, they're not phlox. Those are lamians. These are not phlox. I don't remember the name of them, but that's what we've gone. We also planted our grape. So we had one there before. It didn't do too well. This one did well, started growing, and it's actually, I think, budding again. So we went and got another grapevine, and these are the strawberries that are actually coming up, and we kind of need to clean this bed out. So these are going to be strawberries. And then here are the shade plants we planted here and over here. So we hope they start to spread, kind of like these lamians that we planted. We planted one here, and look how much it spread. So we're probably going to put another lamian right here to kind of help fill this in too. And this is where we've stopped. Oh, I almost forgot. Let's take a trip up here near the well. These are some of the shade plants that we had. We went ahead and planted these. I think they're hellebores. So when my husband was planting these, the roots were soaked because we had really bad rain recently. So he said they just need to dry up, and then they should perk up again, hopefully. And then I went around and cut down our astilbes. You can kind of see here with this leaf. We have like 4 of them, I believe, but I went through and cut those down. And we do have like 2 more hostas that's going to grow. We're going to leave those because they're actually not ugly when they come up. And we'll see how that goes. We didn't get to do this up here yet, but the goal is to plant this over here. We're going to dig this up. It didn't make it from last year. And then we'll plant a couple more things here to kind of fill this area in. And this is where we've reached the end.